There he is. Long time no see, buddy. So many things have to be done to you. This car here, who looks quite a mess, but easy over at the speed shop. You can see there's speed shoppy things happening over here. I have no idea what's going on with this. It looks like it's getting ready to be either a twin intake or a twin turbo, or possibly already is a twin turbo setup. I don't know. I'm not dig too far into that. We're going to talk about my car because I'm on limited time. So I'll show you around some of the parts I picked up while waiting for the shop to be able to even begin starting on my car. This is a Weischer Sport strut tower bar I got from ECS Tuning. It was on a scratch and dent sale. It was $200 cheaper than normal, and I'm going to show you why. Because of that little ding dong and that little ding dong right there. That was a $200 discount. Those two nicks. The irony of this is that as good as this bar works, it's actually hidden underneath the rain guard, so you can't see it at all whether the hood is open, so it doesn't matter whether it's got nicks on it. Alright, so one-handed and clearly upside down. That is a very nice, well, we'll call it a metal tag, painted. There's the adjustability, and it comes with all the hardware packed on there. And this thing is way thicker and way more heavy duty than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be this. The picture shows this flimsy thing with like a smashed end and only one eyelet hole. So, but it says right there, Volkswagen Beetle A5. That's me. That's what they call them over there. They call them 12 ups over here, or 5Cs, or whatever the hell. But yeah, this thing is probably weighs close to 10 pounds, and it is nice and thick. I don't know, I want to say it's probably close to 2-inch thick. I don't know what the diameter of the wall is. They don't give you a whole lot of info. It's a company out of the UK, but we'll get you a video of this thing installed once we get into the hatch and get all that stuff going. But just wanted to show you what this looks like out of the box, because I don't think the pictures on the website are actually the same. No nicks or scratches. It came super duper wrapped. It's still in the plastic. You can see the plastic right there. So I hope this helps somebody make a decision on whether or not to buy this. I'll give you a performance review. I don't even know. It's more of an aesthetic thing for me, to be honest with you. It matched the car. It was on sale. I've never seen another one in the Beetle, and since the back of the car is going to be gutted, I just thought this would look cool, and it definitely can't hinder performance, I don't believe. So we'll update you on this once it's been installed. Alright, so I'm going to try in one hand this box here, and this is going to be my Spoolin dog bone mount, and I don't know why I ordered extra bushings, because it already comes with brand new bushings pushed into it. I guess I didn't know that. Again, I'm one-handing this. There we go. Spoolin. Thanks, Spoolin. Bushings, both sides, all the hardware, nuts, bolts, and yeah, this is the other section of it. This is all billet. One of the first things I did to this car when I bought it was actually upgrade with the Spoolin insert, the trans mount insert. So that's actually already there, and that is a part of this. But at that time I was a super broke boy and didn't have the money for it. So here's the other half of it now. It's going to go on. Got this from United Motorsports. Got most of this from United Motorsports, to be honest with you. I'll list everything in the section below and link off to all the parts I got. So before I decided to start working with USP, or they decided to start working with me, I had already bought this tune from them. Now, it's going to work great currently until they send me that manifold, and then once we get that cracking, and I foresee that being way down the line. So this tune right now will take care of a lot of things that are aggravating about this car, which I don't actually really notice, but everybody else seems to. If they hadn't told me I don't think I'd have picked up on it, but apparently this car has crazy rev hang. This tune is going to let it go to 7,200 RPM, I think, instead of the 65 it limits it to now. It completely removes the governor, so I can go faster than 131 miles an hour now, I think. I don't know. Not that I need to, but that's what it maxed out at with the governor on it. So if you order the APR Tune for your 2.507K, they're going to send you this nice engraved doodly-doo, and you're going to plug that into the OBD2, and I imagine that probably cost them, I don't know, 10 bucks to make or something like that, and I paid something like $400 for it, and here's a cable. It's 200 bucks. That's a grand total, not each. They really get you with that proprietary cable. You got to have their cable to make this work. Luckily with APR, if you want to send it back, the cable, you can, and they'll give you a little bit of your money back. So I wish I could remember everything. I think this is a 93 octane, so I got to run 93 now with this. I think it also lets me run the option of E85 if I get the E85 dongle, which I won't ever do because there ain't a gas station within 100 miles of me that sells E85, so I don't see the point. Maybe when it gets on boost or new motor time or whatever, but yeah. But yeah, they don't send you a sticker. That's a little bit of a bummer. Everybody else sent me a sticker, but APR, no bueno. But yep, like I said, and it's you need full Wi-Fi, full battery on a battery tender, and they say it takes about an hour to upload this. So this is just what you get when you order it. When we get around to uploading the tune, we will do that. I won't make you sit through an hour of it, but we'll show you how to do it because there isn't another video out there of an APR tune going in a 07K 5-cylinder Beetle or any car that I've found on YouTube so far. So hopefully this will help you guys make some decisions, and eventually once the car is up and cracking, sneak preview of the headlights, I will let you know about the performance aspect of it. Alright, so another box from, I don't want to show you my address, but another USP delivery here, and I believe at first I thought this was my new trans mounts and motor mounts. I am now seeing that box down there is probably that. This is going to be, I believe, Audi R8 red top coil packs. Stand by. They indeed are Audi R8 red top coil packs. I don't know if they make any kind of performance difference on the car. They look cool. I'm sure somewhere in this video I'm going to explain to you how that heat shield, or whatever the hell they call that, basically covers up all the cool Go Pass parts I put on my car. Now, I have that shield there because it comes as a part of the intake. The intake was expensive, so I'd hate to get rid of the shield. The shield looks cool. And underneath it looks like it's probably the worst, ugliest motor ever on the top. The valve cover with the breather and everything. So you're not going to be able to see all this cool stuff. You'll be able to see one poking out the edge, but they're under there. I promise. I know. I paid for them. Also in the box, NGK V-Power. These are the ones they recommend. They come as a kit, so I just bought them as a kit. It's interesting because, you know, you get a box of 4, but when you got a 5-cylinder, they got to send you 4 plus 1. So that's kind of funny. The rest of the box is just the rest of my coils, so they'll be on there shortly. Alright, so purchased this Billet fuel rail. It's a IE fuel rail, but I got it from USP like I do everything else. You can order it from either company. USP works with me pretty good, so I send them my business. In case you were wondering, if you have this setup with the AFP power intake that has the so-called heat shield on it, even though your headers are back there and it puts your intake in a terrible position, but somehow says it's dyno proven for however many horsepower. Long story short, if you buy this really nice fuel rail, you can see that here's the beginning of the stock fuel rail. Here's the end on the other side. You will not be able to see this beauty underneath this, so you got to make some decisions. You're using it for performance only and you don't care if anybody sees it, perfect, it's going to be underneath there. Just like that is my coil top. I bought some R8 coil tops, some red ones. They look cool, they work better. You're only going to be able to see just the edge of that one if you're running this intake. Now you have some options. You can get rid of this intake if you have it. You could definitely could just run this, get rid of this heat shield, but you're going to lose this mounting point here for that, so you're going to have to figure something else out there. It wouldn't be too hard off the back of the firewall. But yeah, it's going to be hidden along with a lot of other goodies, because this intake was like $400 something when I bought it brand new, and there's no way I'm getting rid of this heat shield. So the hood won't be open, and most of the parts that we're getting installed, much like the strut tower bar I told you about, is going to go underneath that rain drip tray right there, and you're not going to be able to see it anyway. So when you order this fuel rail, it comes with your hardware from IE. Here's your ports. Your other option for this, say you're not running this and you hate the way this breather valve looks and and you want to be able to sell your good stuff, you can buy a $500 billet valve cover that, well, it looks great. It eliminates all the ugly. It's so dirty. But it also directly hooks up to a catch can, which is great for your oil overflow. It eliminates all the ugly, and you can see all the goodie parts that you bought. So you've got some options, but that thing is $500. And I'm currently trying to work with USP to either get one of those, so when we get the manifold and we get everything else, we can try and relocate some things. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Those are your options. You can go buy that $500 integrated valve cover, and then you go get yourself a catch can, run that, and just don't buy this. Also as an option, but I already have it and everything fits underneath it, and you know, I know it's there. I know I paid for it, trust me, my wallet knows. So yeah, it ain't gonna look super cool, but it's gonna boogie. Alright, I'll be looking at my address. More stuff from USP, I believe. Always, dude, the best. They're the best. Herbacyde Gold Bears. This is the third pack I've opened today. Thank you. You're welcome. I wish I had a discount on it for all the stuff I buy, but, you know, nothing yet. These are going to be, yeah, look at that. These are going to be, oh man, I am messing this man's garage up. I don't have a trash can. Yeah. 034 Motorsports. I'm excited too, thank you. Look at those bad boys. So we've got a, I believe this is the, oh nice, inscribed. I believe this is the trans mount, I don't know, trans mount or motor mount, ordered them both. These are the stage 1s because I don't want to rattle my teeth out of my head. They offer a stage 2, or I think maybe BFI offers a stage 2, and these guys only go with just this set. I don't know, but I am even more in love that it's engraved in there now. And this is possibly the trans of the motor mount. Wow, bigger and heavier than I thought. But they're 60% stiffer, I believe. And again, got these through USP. I could have ordered them through 034 Motorsport, but I have an account with USP, so it just works out easier to do it that way. Plus, they send me Herbacyde Gold Bears every single time, so these will be going in there because the stock ones are in there currently. And even when I bought this car 6 or 7 years ago, I remember looking at the motor rocking back and forth on the stock ones and thinking, wow, that's a lot of motor movement. And I wasn't sure if that was some sort of design flaw, or if somehow between 2012 and when I bought the car in 2016, the motor mounts just completely went bad, because this was an old person's car. It only had 43,000 miles on it when I bought it, so I know they weren't racing it or beating it. It was completely stock. Maybe the factory motor mounts are just not that great. I don't know. All I know is these bitches were like $500, and they're billet and poly and designed to last for a while. They come with all your hardware, and if you would like a set, you can get them right there. .com through USP. They were highly recommended by Florida07K off of YouTube, even though I think he has the BFI Stage 2 green ones. His car is on boost, so he's going to want that. This car currently will be as much Stage 1 as it could possibly be. After you see this video, you'll understand why. It'll be as Stage 1 as it could possibly be until I can get a hold of that manifold. I am working with USP, who is working with Integrated Engineering on possibly sending me a free one for a sponsorship. I'm not going to hassle them about it. I've been in contact. I was told it was coming. They were working on it. I explained to them what I was doing with the build, so that's basically what this video is about. I'm putting this together as a showcase to show them all the products. I mean, they could obviously go in and see that I bought all this stuff from them, but I wanted to show them that I bought all the stuff from them, so that would give me some good faith in maybe getting me that $1,200 manifold and different intake setup that actually comes down in a way, and the Stage 2 tune that I would need, which would negate my brand new $500 Stage 1 APR tune, but I can sell that off to somebody for nice and cheap that wants to do a Stage 1 upgrade, because once you pop that manifold on, you have to go with the Integrated Engineering Stage 2 tune. Otherwise, you're just restricting yourself. You're not doing yourself any favors. So, yeah. This bad boy right here, I believe, goes on that side over there underneath the radiator tank. And this one right here is going to go over there on this side underneath the battery tray and my Auga horn. So the battery tray comes out, and then these just bolt right in with the factory hardware, I believe, or maybe I remember somebody saying in a video I watched that you can't reuse, you can't reuse this factory hardware because there's some kind of bolts that stretch or something when you put them in there. So, good news, they send you the hardware and the bracket that you're going to need to bolt those bad boys down. That was a little concerning. I'm glad I took an extra look in there. Alright, so there's your 034 trans and motor mount Stage 1, and they will be going in Herbacyde as soon as possible. They said there's another build going on over here, and it's currently taking priority over Herbacyde, which I told them that was fine, and I do miss my car, but when it comes back it's going to be super cool and more one of a kind than it already is. So the juice is worth the squeeze. It's worth the wait. I don't know. Alright, so there's one mount. That's going to be the motor mount, and you're not going to be able to see it, but I'll show you about up underneath here, down there, that just behind that blue, that thing I'm pointing right there is going to be your trans mount. So there you go, that's going to be your trans, and that's going to be the motor mount for the 034 Motorsports Stage 1 mount locations, in case you were wondering. So you can see before I went down to the Herbie Daytona meet, I was shooting a video on this, but I forget what happened. I lost the data, or my phone got too hot and got corrupt. But anyway, from USP, again, made by Spoolin, is the secondary air injection swap out delete, which you can't see all the way down there, but they send you the plate, the hose, the vacuum. They all say Spool on them. You run up here to your valve, which eventually I will eliminate and get the valve cover at some point, but that's a splurge that is not necessary. But yeah, so I got this from USP in March and installed it because my car was dripping oil. If your car is dripping oil and you know it's not coming from the filter housing or anything like that, I promise you it's your secondary air injection, and you can do it yourself. Pull battery tray, pull off your stock intake or your other factory intake. That's not too hard. I left the throttle body. Once you get down there, there's a linkage you got to pop off for the shifter, and that moves everything out of the way. And then it's basically I think T23, but don't quote me on that. T23, they send them to you. You unscrew yours, pull the whole pump out, slide it out. Now if you have an automatic, it's a little bit different. You got to do another jingly down there. And this is a 5-speed, so it's a little more simple. Anyway, you pull the pump out, put the plate back on, brake part, and put the screws back in. They send you all the hardware and the hex key. This one it came with a little gasket on the inside, flat gasket. And as far as I could tell, so far, no drips. It's been driven pretty far, and the only thing that's leaked out of it was gasoline, which was my fault and has nothing to do with what we're talking about now. You can see that it runs back here to the vacuum booster. Mine is all tore up because when I was working on it, it was hot and I got frustrated and that shit was in my way, so I just kind of hand ripped it out of the way. But yeah, it's a nice kit. It works. There's no different feel on the brakes as long as you get everything nice and tight. Just make sure you tighten down all your worm, screw, caterpillar doodads, and it eliminates some stuff here. Yeah, it's a nice kit for like $100 or so. And it, when you crank up your car in the morning, if you have an exhaust, you'll hear that there's like 2 different tones, and that's the secondary air injection pump turning on and then going off. My car does not do that now. It didn't make a difference to me. I thought it actually sounded pretty cool, especially because my car is straight pipe, but it doesn't do that anymore. It just cranks up and warms up, and that's a wrap on that. But just thought I'd show you. It's a pretty easy install. It's a hook up here, a hook up here, hook up on your brake booster, and then like I said down there, and people have done full videos on it, so you don't use my video for the example of putting that on there, obviously, because you can't see anything. Go find somebody else who has done the work and pulled everything out of the way, and it's super simple. Don't pay somebody to do this for you. I highly recommend giving it a shot yourself, because if you pull it off, you're going to feel a lot more confident in trying other things in your car as opposed to paying somebody else to do them. Alright, that is it for the Spoolin secondary injection block off plate review. 100% love it. Alright, so this should be my ECS aluminum skid plate. Here it is. Doing this one-handed, so I'm going to try and slide it out for you and not terrify my dog. It's not light. I think it weighs 30 or something pounds. Hang on. Stand by. Okay, so we're back. It's heavy, and that wasn't easy to do one-handed. So there you go. You can see serial number, street tuning, leaning up against the car. Here's all the hardware that comes with it. It is thick. She's a thick boy. Thick girl. And it's going to protect all of that goodness at some point. But there she is. Vented, I'm imagining. Apparently, well, I'm looking at it now and I can see that there's no hole for the oil drain plug, so I'm either A, cutting a hole in this bitch for that, which I don't want to do, or I'm going to have to order the external oil filter thing from Jet that goes down there, and then it's a whole nother thing. But currently we'll do the oil change and then we'll pop this on, so it'll give me a little bit of time with this to see if I like it. But yeah, man, that thing is super duper thick. It's beefy for a couple $100, and it's definitely gonna... I live down a dirt road. Most of the roads where I live, they're not paved out in the boonies, so That is going to help tremendously because right now I have nothing. There's no plastic, even the factory one currently isn't down there, so that's going to help. So thanks, ECS. I mean, you didn't give me a discount or anything, but good product. Alright, so there's no power to the car and I can't get to the hatch, but here is my fuel cell. It's currently sitting on my back seat, which is down. It's a 10-gallon cell. You probably see my braided line back there, some AN fittings, and you can see that the shop that I dropped it off at when it initially started leaking gas was just down the road. They couldn't figure out how to get the hatch open, so they ripped all the plastic out and then they used their cutoff wheel and they zerped through all the wiring that opens the hatch. So I had to buy a new harness, which is what you see dangling down there. Unfortunately, if the battery is not, there's the rest of the harness. If the battery is not hooked up, that hatch won't open unless I crawl my fat ass all the way through there, which I'm not doing because I'm only here to show you that fuel cell. There she is, ain't she a beaut. There's a Holly pump down there to match it as well. Alright, so I popped the headlights in. They're not hooked up. The car doesn't have any power. Battery's dead, but I'll show you what they look like in the car. I haven't fit them up or done anything to them yet to get them square in the car, so the fitment's a little off, but I know it's hard to tell with the light reflection, but that is what they look like. This will be the final thing to go on the car unless I get impatient, but yeah, I figured I've had a plate for this car with every name it's ever had, so we might as well go ahead and get him a custom embossed Herbacyde plate. I think I'll top him off once this thing is ready and fully ready to drive home from here. So the wrap up on this video is I didn't plan on actually getting anything done here today to the car. I just came to open up some parts, unbox some stuff, and just kind of take a gander at the car. I missed it. Oh, look at the pile of parts. That box is full. Rear strut tower bar, front strut tower bar, fuel rail, skid plate, coils, plugs, license plate. Headlights are in, but not operational. I got no battery power currently. Alright, later taters.